Hello, and welcome to the Anime Academy. I'm your headmaster, Paolo,
And I'm Zakk.
and class is now in session. This week, ooh, what I am just bursting at the seams. I am beyond excited. I'm losing my mind and my marbles. This week, we're going to be talking about Demon Slayer, which has now entered my top 5 animes that I have watched.
I
So
was
if that, yeah, that's gonna tell you something.
I was really surprised to hear you say that actually.
I wish there was words to express how in depth I am invested in these characters, and I just want to see. I want to see movies. I want to see TV shows. I want to see. I want a damn musical. I want a damn musical.
Demon Slayer the musical.
Come on, bro. That would be sick.
All right. For those of you unfamiliar with Demon Slayer is one of the best-selling manga of all time, selling over 150 million copies to date.
Woo-hoo.
It was written and illustrated by Koyoharu Gatoge. It follows a young Tanjiro Kamado, a boy whose family was slaughtered by demons and sister was turned into a demon. And his main objective throughout the series is to slay all of these emo demons. Emo? Emo demons, yes.
Emo. They're emo. What are
Oh,
they playing? My Chemical Romance when they're
oh
killing
my
people?
god. You wouldn't believe what the demons are doing, man. Um, So he's going out trying to slay demons and save his sister. The plot unfolded over 23 volumes, running from February 2016 to May 2020, and it received an anime adaptation in April of 2019 that is still running. It got a movie sequel, Mugen Train, which premiered in Japan in October and has gone on to become the highest grossing anime film of all time, breaking records left and right, and even dethroning Spirited Away.
Wow, dude, Spirit Away is godly tier. So to have that be knocked down by Demon Slayer, that means something. That means everything.
Especially, like, it's a canon film, right?
Hmm.
You don't see that very often, and for a canon film to have done that well, like, that's crazy. We haven't ever seen an anime film perform this well in theaters. It will be coming to North America on April 23rd, and the show's second season will air this year. It is speculated to be part of the summer season this year.
Oh, like summer 2021?
Yep.
Ooh, so maybe if time allows and the anime gods put everything together, we could potentially do an episode on the second season once it wraps up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you should keep your eyes out for that, kids.
Alrighty, man. This is a big can of worms to unpack.
The biggest, but the best. I just get your can opener, just open it right up, get a fork, and let's just munch on this great anime. Wow, I'm just on another level.
I think you're just hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, okay, so Demon Slayer, when we talk about great opening episodes, great first episodes, I think this is up on that list for me because
I agree. I concur.
that opening scene. Well, okay, first of all, I mean, pretty tropey, but it's effective. Starting on a dramatic moment to start the episode and coming back to that moment by the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to go about it because obviously you're not starting from here's information and blah blah blah. It's giving you something that you know you're working towards.
And it also lets you think about, okay, how did it get to this point? You can
Hmm.
start theorizing, maybe da 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 da, or this theory, but then once you get to that moment, it's like, okay, so this is going to be the premise for how this will transpire.
Hmm. Another thing too is, I mean, Nezuko has been um, a hugely cosplayed character recently.
Hmm.
That's really cool. Man, the costume design for these characters is
Abs-
really really cool.
I and I love how each character has like their own color scheme to it,
Hmm.
and they kind of stick to that unless otherwise unless you're in your training uniform, you're in like your Demon Slayer uniform, but they kind of still they stick to their true colors, if you will. But yeah, I really like the costumes. Honestly, I would wear some of these costumes if I could. If I could, I would.
Well, maybe Paulo's gonna have to get into cosplay.
You know what? I think it's time. I think it's time that it finally happens.
Okay, so we talked about costumes. You talked about just at the beginning the characters. The characters.
Hmm.
These are some really cool, lovable characters.
Yeah, and how should I say this without sounding rude? The other characters that we have discussed over 12 episodes now, there's always a likability to them. However, the how old, first of all, how old are these people? Because to me, they're like 12.
The characters in Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, how old is
yeah, they're
Tanjiro?
young teens, I think.
Okay, let's say 13, 14,
Hmm.
right? There is a little bit of relatability because we were both once 14, 13, and that was kind of not recent for us, but like we kind of grasp what they're kind of going through. These kids, again, which is any kids, they're doing the absolute most at such a young age. Tanjiro is literally bodying bitches,
Hmm.
and here I am doing absolutely none of the sort. So it kind of works out, you know? But what I liked about Demon Slayer and their characters is you really got to know them just as themselves, but like on an emotional, like how they think, how they make their life choices. And like I haven't really seen this with like any other anime other than just like, oh, like they repeat the same shit all over again, like with
Hmm.
the characters. But with Demon Slayer, it was really, for me, it was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh, like this is so different. Like I really haven't seen this character growth and character development in any other anime and or show that I watched.
Right. Yeah, really cool cast of characters from like Tanjiro to Zenitsu to Inazuke. Like
Beast.
Inazuki is probably my favorite
Beast.
character.
Beast. Oh my God. If I could be any anime character, it would be him. But I
But
would lose the mask. I would change it for a cat mask.
I honestly, okay, as far as the demon slayers in the show go, I wasn't expecting to like Sukuko,
Mm,
but honestly, she ended up being a kind of cool character. Obviously, they haven't explored her character too much,
hmm.
but for what it's worth, she isn't just an archetype. Like she's not just the type character. There's more
Right.
to her, and I like that.
1000%.
And man, like Nezuko, like
Beast. Another underappreciated. I feel okay. I have a theory, and we all know how Paolo's theories go, but hear me out. She is going to develop into probably the most powerful character in this show. I
mm,
can see it for her. Whether that be like I 1000% she's gonna tap into her demon side a lot because now like she has demon blood in her now, and that's not something she's used to. So she's going to learn how to, I don't want to say control, but like how to manifest this power with also allowing her human self to become as powerful as her demon self. So I'm just
mm.
expecting a massive glow up for Nezuko. Like the biggest glow up.
Now, there's a lot to talk about for the Hashira, but first I want to talk about okay, demon slayers. Like when they get their swords, we see Genya, and we see him again. Where is it? At the Butterfly Mansion,
Yes, in the hallway.
right? So we run into him again. I have not read the manga. I don't know if there is more to this character, what they're setting up for, but I am really invested and interested to see where they take him.
They kind of threw him in at the end of their what the at the final selection,
Hmm.
and then we don't see him, and then we see him again, and he's got a little chip on his shoulder. He's got something to prove. This could be a Sasuke moment. He's like, I need to avenge my clan or some shit like that, or he just is a depressed emo demon slayer, which. respect.
I think they're definitely setting him up to be a really cool character. I just don't know what direction they're going to take him.
Could he be the villain?
I thought about that, but I don't think so. If anything, I think as you mentioned before, maybe it'll be like a Sasuke thing where he's on the side of the villains but not really,
Oh,
you
okay.
know?
That would also be cool to explore. Like he could be like not the main villain because we already know who the main villain is. We already know the protagonist and antagonist. But okay, what if he's a spy for what's it what's the dude's name? The dude's name? The
What?
bad dude.
Muzan?
The bad yeah, like the really, really bad dude.
Yeah, Muzan.
Yeah, Muzan. What if he is a spy for Muzan?
Ooh.
He's keep like so that's why he was back at the Butterfly Mansion. He's kind of like not been in the picture. I think I cracked the code, Your Honor. I think case closed. I got it.
Man, man, some of these demons, like lower ranks alone, really, really cool characters.
Hmm.
Um, I'm very interested. Obviously, we haven't been able to see the film yet, where they go, because now freaking Tanjiro and friends are off to go, not necessarily train, but they're going to speak with the former Flame Hashira.
Yes.
Like that's cool.
And also on that train is one of the 12 that I'm also very excited to see how they're going to interact. All those characters. Is there
Mm.
going to be like a huge like fight scene on the roof? Okay, also back up. I was binge watching this show, as I do for every anime that I watch on this channel. When I tell you, I had to scream and cry into my pillow when Tanjiro's sword broke. There were I was in tears. I think I had like an anxiety attack. I was like, what do you mean it broke? This is supposed to be like the strongest sword and da 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 da. And then, shing, it dude, it broke. What do you mean it broke? I was, mm, a lot of emotions happened at like 2 a.m.
Man, I'm just picturing you freaking out like Hotaro does.
I relate to him the most. That is my guy. I often think like I would be like the main character, like the really like go getter, and I'm like, no, I will cry, I will run away, I will be stubborn. Um, and I also like really like his getup, his outfit. It's like orange and yellow. I really do. I sympathize with him. He's a simp, you know. He's just trying. He just wants to feel loved. Don't we all want to feel loved? I know I do. Zach's never showed me any affection of love. Like Jesus Christ.
Sorry, dude.
It's okay. You know, it is what it is. I get it. I understand my position in this podcast. I get it. No, it's fine. It's fine. We don't have to talk about it. It's fine. It's
Just
fine.
another note, actually. I know we've discussed this already, but it's given me a really strong, or I guess given me new reason to appreciate Mask.
Yes, very, very much so.
You know, like these are iconic masks appearing in the series that I mean, I know the meaning of some of them, not all,
Hmm.
but to see them appear in Demon Slayer and to see how they're used as not theatrical devices, but plot devices is really really cool.
Yeah, because we don't see some characters, we only see their masks. So there's always like, oh, what's under the mask? It's very, coronavirus, very that, like, oh, like put on your mask. But no, like you kind of mentioned, I know a meaning of some, and because the one Tanjiro took to the final selection, that was supposed to be like a protection, and that didn't work either.
Mm.
So it's always a gratifying moment when like the mask breaks. It's like, oh, like shit's getting real. If the mask can't save you, girl, you best be saving your damn self. Take a form, do some water breathing, do what you gotta do, slay the demon, cut its head off, and then we'll talk about the mask later.
That was interesting, actually. Yeah, how all of Urokadaki's kids were wearing the fox masks, and that's why they were targeted.
Yeah. And then we all know what happened to the
doing the
dudes.
exact opposite of what they were supposed to. It's funky.
Yeah, it's funky, fresh, and fun, if you will.
All right. You want to talk about some of the cooler moments from the series? Obviously, we talked about the opening before.
I would
Um,
like to draw attention to the whole fight scene in the house.
oh yeah.
That whole animation style of the entire room just shifting and
Hmm.
turning and tossing and turning. What a cinema. It was so. The cinematography was just absolutely breathtaking.
That was
It
really,
was
really cool. Yeah.
it was because it was very 3D. It very
Hmm.
felt like it wasn't like a two-dimensional, like, okay, this is a room, this is a house. It felt like you were inside the space
For
and
sure.
you were kind of falling around this house.
You get to watch up become down and right become left. It was really, really cool. Actually, I don't know. Have you ever played Ocarina of Time?
Um, I'd like to remind you, I was only allowed to play Mario Kart as a child.
Okay, okay. So, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the Forest Temple, there's a hallway that as you walk through it, the walls and the floor kind of turn as you walk down the
Yeah.
hall, and you go from, upright in one room to upright in the next, but everything's twisted in the process. It's really, really
Hmm.
cool perspective. But yeah, same kind of feeling from those fight scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a cool scene.
What about when Tanjiro runs into Muzan with his fake family? The first time we see Muzan on screen, Tanjiro's in the city and he
Oh,
sniffs him out,
dude.
kind of.
Okay, yes. Oh, I was just expecting to see Muzan. I was not expecting to see a wife and a kid. So then here's my question. So this goes without saying, demons can procreate with humans. So
Hmm.
are they half demon, or is their daughter half demon?
Right,
Can Nesco like teach her how? Oh, there's so many things that you can like really play with this year. Unless they don't know, unless I, don't- I would like to know more about the family. And I know it's so stupid, but like I would really want to see how they, because they don't know. They
right.
don't. They are oblivious. They think they are living the life. It's mm-mm. Just and just Tanjiro like helping the dude on the floor, and he's just screaming at him like, "I'm gonna kill you!" Da, da, da. And then his wife was like, "Oh, like who's that?" And Madonna was like, "Oh, I don't know, some kid. He's very troubled." Yeah,
Dude,
that's all I got.
Tomioka, I want
Hmm.
to know more. I want to know more
Yeah,
about this man. He gives off some Levi vibes.
don't even get me started on Levi. I am already getting hot and flustered thinking about it. Whew.
Really, really
Yeah.
cool character. And right, he uses water as well.
Hmm.
So, you know, was he trained by Urukadaki?
See, remind me. So when you did the final selection and you go up to present your sword, or no, no, the sword person comes to your house, comes
Hmm.
comes to your crib, very like Uber Eats for like your sword. Um, when you grab it, it's just the vibe you give off, or it's just random.
I mean, I think it's a matter of, fate pulls you to whatever
Okay.
thing you choose, and and then what, the sword then adapts and changes color to
Mm-hmm.
whatever resonates with that person. Yeah.
Right. So the only reason I ask that is because what if there's a connection between both of them that we don't know yet?
Right.
What if they're brothers?
I think
Hear me
that's
out. Hear me out. Again, Paul's conspiracy theories. Both are water users, right? What if
okay.
there's like a hereditary connection, like not necessarily like like distant brother or maybe cousin. I wouldn't say like no, not father. Some sort of family bond, because then it could be hereditary. So if one of you in the family is water, then like maybe another, or it will skip a generation. It will skip a generation. That's why his dad was able to use fire, and Tanjiro is using water.
Right.
That didn't make sense, did it? Like as I was thinking that, I'm like, this makes sense. Just saying it now did not make sense.
I mean, I also find it really interesting that Urokadaki was the former water Hashira, right? And
Hmm.
Tomioka is the current water Hashira. That's the only Hashira that's been replaced. Like the other former Hashiras were a flower, thunder, and flame.
Hmm.
Those don't get replaced with anything. I mean, you could argue that the flower Hashira gets replaced by the insect Hashira, but
Hmm.
it's not the same, right?
Right. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe again, this will probably. I hope they explain this in either the movie or the season two. But I think there's more. There's more of a connection here. I feel as if they're gonna allude to a connection because we also don't know how his dad was able to use fire, and then Tanjiro was like, "Oh yeah, I'm water. I'm a water sign." You know.
Really, really cool series.
I would just one of the last points I'll probably make tonight because I've made several that are half are just you know. Um, I really fell in love with the animation style though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This I have not seen anything like this before, and I've watched I don't know a handful of anime. Like Zakk has probably watched 10 times more anime than I have. However, there's something about this animation style that feels very different, but
Mhm.
there's also something quite similar to it. It's not similar in the way like, oh, it's a copy of this, it's a copy of that. It's just, it's, I feel as if that it, I don't know, I just really liked it. And I
Oh,
thought it
for
was
sure.
really cool.
It's got really, really interesting line work.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, on that note,
On that note, well, as you can probably tell, we are very invested into this series, and we are very looking forward to the movie coming out later this month. I
yes,
hope that we
April
can watch it together.
23rd.
I'm hoping that we can watch it so you can see like my physical and verbal reactions because I hate watching TV by myself because I'm still very theatrical when I watch it by myself. But I digress. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of Anime Academy. If you guys would like to support the channel, be a great fan, can like, comment, share, or subscribe. Or if you want to be a super fan, you do all four and would love you some more. Other than that, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Anime Academy Podcast. And yeah, who knows, maybe we'll do a contest at the end of the season. I don't know. I just
Ooh.
think about this now. Um,
Next time, we're going to be coming back and talking about Gurren Lagann, which is one of my personal favorites. I definitely slept on that one for too long initially. But yeah, that's really, really cool. So if you're looking forward to having a conversation about giant mechs, then I don't know, stay
See you in
tuned.
class next week. Well, this has always been so fun. For Anime Academy, I am your headmaster Paolo.
And I'm Zakk.
Class is now dismissed. Go out and watch some anime today.
Take care.